So, wow. Sometimes a person's story is more than just words. I have many words to say, but I also have a message. I'm not an experienced speaker, but I do speak from my heart, because the heart always tells the truth. But how many of us really do what our heart tells us? There's a Dutch saying, life is a party, but you need to hang up your own banners. That definitely applies to me. I'm young, party's enough. But, but it wasn't always easy for me to hang up the banners. In my life, I made some difficult choices, but they were my choices. I don't regret anything, but there are some things I'm not proud of. But there is a big difference between regretting something or being ashamed for it. When I was a baby girl, I got involved with a car accident with my parents. And as a result, I lost about 50% of my hearing. From the moment I realized I could hear less than the average person, I focused directly on the voice within me. And I call that voice my inner key, because that voice I could always hear. And it has been my key to success. When I was young, I often thought I should become a model, and it became something I really wanted myself. So here's this picture. I was 3 years old, and my mother, she always told me, when you grow up, you become a model, because I think that's where you're good in. But too many things in my life left me feeling responsible for my mother and my sister. And my mother always tried to take care of us, but she wasn't always managed to do this. And I often had to help her with very serious things at a very young age. And my teenage years turned into a troubled period of my life. I hang around with the wrong people. You can find me in the wrong places at the wrong time. And every time I took one step forward to make things better, something very bad happened, and it took me 4 steps back. And I remember one evening, this very difficult period of my life, I was very depressed and down, and I felt very lonely, and I cried a lot. And at this low point in my life, I decided to make choices for myself. And just 2 days later, like if it was a miracle, something very special happened. I was walking down on the street, and I got spotted by a friend's modeling agency. And they asked me to send some pictures. So I did, and 1 week later, I was flying to Paris. Well, Paris was a dream, and modeling can be a very crazy way of life. And I came across many temptations, and once again, I was exposed to a world of drugs, sex, and rock and roll. And I could so easily falling back into old habits. The competition was huge. There were hundreds of beautiful girls. I didn't earn much money at all. But giving up on my big dream? Hell no. Are you crazy? At that time, a contest was underway in the Netherlands. Holland's Next Top Model. A girlfriend signed me up, and I went to a casting. And of the thousands of girls who entered the competition, I ended up in a top model house. It was broadcast on national TV, and viewers could see me for the 8 following weeks. And on May 14, 2007, I won this competition, and I got a modeling contract. Wow, this is it, I thought. And I promised myself that nothing horrible would ever happen to me now. But I should have known better. I was now a TV celebrity. And if you get famous, people want to know everything about you, including your private life. That's what the media thought too, because who was that girl with that unusual voice? And suddenly, all the grim stories about my past were out in the open. They were discussed in the newspapers, in a magazine, on TV. And there I was, just 21, a signed modeling contract, and everyone had an opinion. As I walked down the street, I heard people gossiping and calling me bad names. And that hurt so bad. And this time, I wasn't sad. No, I was angry and I felt misunderstood. Because how can you judge me without even knowing me? How could you only believe that I should have done things better if you wasn't wearing my shoes? So I decided to give an interview in which I was very honest. And it was a very difficult thing to do because I also spoke about the things I was very ashamed of. But it turned out to be a good choice, and the tide has seemed, and my career was on its way up. And at the same time, I was in a very happy relationship, and I was in love with a boy named Joshua. But my happiness didn't last long because after just a year, Joshua got killed in a stabbing. And everything I had worked for so hard and believed in was taken away from me just in one go. Boom, gone. And all the pain I had experienced before was nothing compared to this sense of great loss. I thought I would find support with my Dutch modeling agency, but they said I had to go back to work straight away because I had a contract to deal with. And they also told me that after all these stories about me in the media, I could kiss my big dream goodbye forever working for Italian folk. Well, these words hit me so hard, and I decided to leave the agency. And there I was, back at square one. I felt, for the first time in my life, I felt like giving up. But my inner key told me, don't you even dare. And that's true, because I'd rather fall on my face 10 times and succeed the 11th time than stop after the first or second time and ask myself later, what if, just what if? So it seems that I have only experienced horrible things in my life, but that's not entirely true. I have been able to move forward again and find happiness. I fell in love again, and now I'm married with the best man in the world. And my career has really taken off in the last 3 years. I'm with a top modeling agency right now who really believes in me. I still work as a model. I also act, I give workshops, and I'm proud to say I'm served as an ambassador for the great organization Child's Life. My troublesome past may not have set me up as the ideal example for many people, but I hope I can inspire you to never give up. If you believe in yourself, you will create opportunities to live your dreams. And of course, you need a little drive and motivation, but let's be honest. You only get something out of life if you really work hard enough for it. Well, in my world, I come across many beautiful women. But for me, the most beautiful women and also my greatest inspiration remains my mother. For it's from her that I got my strength and my ability to rely on myself. And speaking of beautiful women, Audrey Hepburn once said that nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. Now, I really love that quote because I believe that everything is possible as long as you truly believe in yourself and never give up on hope. So I want to give you the message that believing in yourself is the greatest strength you will ever possess, and that's your inner key. Everyone here will probably make the wrong choice more than once. And people who say they haven't, well, in my opinion, have already made the biggest mistake. Not daring to make choices in life in an effort to avoid disappointment. Know that no matter how far we fall, we are all unique and we are all able to stand up again and walk, run, or even fly. I always try to get the best out of myself. And if all those party banners from my party fall on the ground, I simply hang them back up again. Oh yes, and remember that I told you about the Italian folk? Well, this is me, this is the Italian folk, and it's in the shops at this moment. Thank you.